So to evaluate trig functions with radians, the first thing that we want to understand is that you need to have memorized any of our trig functions that are whole multiples of pi, half multiples of pi, quarter multiples of pi, third multiples of pi, or sixth multiples of pi. So you need to have memorized the associated angle degrees for pi sixths, pi fourths, pi thirds, pi halves, and any multiple of pi. So I'm going to put an in here. So every one of these you should be able to convert to degrees without the use of a calculator. And from there you should be able to come up with its answer for the trig function. So sine of pi thirds is the same thing as saying what is the sine of 60 degrees. And for 60 degrees we have a memorized triangle, which is short side is 1, hypotenuse is 2, and then the square root of 3. And we know that sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so this would be the square root of 3 over 2. Pi fourths we should have memorized to be 45 degrees, and the cosine of 45 degrees is a memorized triangle where the legs are 1 and the hypotenuse is the square root of 2. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so it would be 1 over root 2, which is the square root of 2 over 2. For pi 6 degrees, that should be memorized to be pi 6 radians is the same as 30 degrees. A 30-degree triangle is a memorized triangle where the short side is 1, hypotenuse is 2, the long side is the square root of 3. Tangent is opposite over adjacent, which is 1 over root 3. Rationalize it, and I get the square root of 3 over 3. So if it's any one of these multiples, you're going to end up with some sort of a memorized triangle. We'll actually get to the half multiples of pi and this in one of our next lessons when we talk about trig of any angle. For these, okay, there's two ways to do these. One is you can convert the radians to degrees using 9.2a's video, or you can use your calculator and make sure that the mode is in radians mode. So if you have one of these calculators or the black one that's similar to it, the way you get it into radians mode, and if you look at the top here, right now it says degrees. To get in radians mode, you hit mode, and you go over where it says RAD, and then you hit enter, and then hit second, quit. Then up at the top it'll say RAD. So any functions that I use with trig now are going to give me taking these as an input. So I'm going to hit cosine of 2 pi sevenths while I'm in radians mode. So I'm going to hit 2 pi divided by 7, and I get approximately 0.6235. Same thing here, sine of 1. There's no degree symbol, so that means 1 radian. So I'm going to hit the sine of 1, and I get approximately 0.8415. Tangent of 1/2. So tangent of 1 divided by 2 is approximately 0.5463. Notice, anytime you're using the calculator and you're rounding, you're going to be using an approximate symbol. Okay? One quick thing I want you guys to realize, so we're going to come over here. In radians, going all the way around from here to here is pi radians. Okay? Pi is approximately 3.14. Okay? So I'm going to divide this arc, and 2 pi is approximately 6.28. So let's look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 radian, 2 radians, 3 radians, 4 radians, 5 radians, 6 radians. This is approximately 3.14 radians. This is approximately 6.28 radians. So notice the sine of 1 was telling me to take the sine of this angle right here. So I just want you to realize what the relationship is. Hey, if I tell you, draw me an angle of 4 radians, you should be able to realize that 4 is a little more than 3. And it's, so it's 3.14 divided by 2 is 1.57. Add that together, and I get 4.71. This would be like 4.71 radians. So you know, between 3.14 and 4.71, you have 4. Okay, just approximate where that angle is going to be if you need to do it. So that's the end of section 9.2. I know it was a long set of videos, but make sure you practice the problems. The problems that I am assigning for your homework practice are out of the homework, and we're going to do several here. I want you to do 6, 8, 16, 24, 27, and those are the ones that I want you to do prior to coming to class. Okay? So I know it was a long set of videos, and you have 5 problems to do, but do those problems and you'll be good to go for the next 2 days.